So then, we're going to cut a little bit with a C, only a little bit. We're not going to go crazy. There's a little bit of a hole there. I'm just going to clean that and put some stuff on it, and then we're gonna be on the off. Going to go up the field and do a little bit of work. Everything is all basically ready to go. So, catch you in a minute. A little bit dirty from work. As always. Right, see you in a minute. Cruising. Right, going for it. Gonna cut a little bit of corn with a seed. Hopefully everything works out alright. So yeah, we'll soon find out. I'm confident of good things. Yeah. Right, job's good. We're just going to set her up and let's go. Here we go, we're just going to go around the edge a bit. All good. Let the combine do the testing. So it seems as if it's a little bit too damp still. Well, it is too damp really. I think we've been a little bit hopeful today, but we wanted to try it, see if it worked. And it worked right. This combine seems to take a lot more setting up than the Model A's, because it's running on the same materials as the smaller combines. Those little Model A's, they're easy. They are easy to set up. This takes a little bit more to set up, because it just does, because of the size. It's just bigger, running on the same clutch, on the same belts, on the same frame, well, the same size materials. So you've got a lot more work to get it to work right, but there you go. It's just one of those, it's never going to run perfect in this, so I'm going to cut down there and then I'm going to call it a day with this one, because it's just a little bit too much today. So hopefully it dries out. We'll maybe do a bit more tomorrow. It should be a little bit drier tomorrow. So yeah, we'll go from there. Right, see you in a little while. with this. Only got a little bit to cut, but well, I'm gonna have a look to see what's going on here because it's slowing down too much. got an interesting thought. Because I wonder if the brakes are sticking again, because if it is, that will be causing us issues. And it's good to catch it early. You see, yeah, there. Mind you, that's not getting too hot. See, that brake's fine. You see, that brake, independent brake's good. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, and that's good as well. So there you go, it's not bad. See, this is one thing you do. Yeah, that belt's took a kicking. You can feel it's so hot. I'm working. So I reckon what I'm going to do tomorrow, I'm going to go get some belt dressing, because you shouldn't really need it, but this is on full temp. and I've got a new one of these, but it doesn't feel that bad. You can see it's not running that low. You can see there the mark where it's running to. So yeah. Yeah, it's full tension basically. Not far off anyway. So yeah. Do you know what? It is just too wet, to be honest. You know, it's stupid of me to do it, but we thought we'd just give it a go and see. You know, because it's been dry all day, and let's face it, when are we going to cut it? You know, it's just so wet. If you don't cut it when it's wet, you're not going to cut it. We just, like I say, just done that tank full. We'll leave it at that for today. I'll get some belt dressing to put on that because it's got very hot, that belt. But like I say, I'm pretty sure that the clutch is good, the engine belt's good, the split brakes aren't sticking like they was yet last year because we backed them off. We ain't actually restored them. We just backed them off. So yeah, she'll be all right. You know, I've heard a happy report that the weekend's looking all right. So hopefully we'll be able to cut some. So yeah, all good. Right, catch you later. Bye. I had to open the concave a little bit, and it's helped. Yeah, that belt's taking a serious kicking, that is. That's the only thing, the drum is taking an absolute whacking. There's still nothing on the floor though, which is good. I reckon I can still open the concave. I can still open that concave a little bit. I think it's still freshen it quite well. Yeah, I think I'll just open it up again anyway, see what happens. holding pressure. That's good. So, yeah, managed to get the sample pretty good, but you can feel it's really, really wet. It is proper wet. Needed to cut a little bit lower, really. Thing is, it was the first pass, and I just didn't really want to grab any crap in it, but you can see where the crop's been hanging down. It's not too bad in most of it, but where it's been hanging down, you've really got to go low. It's stony in the middle, apparently. But, you know, hopefully it dry out a little bit tomorrow. We'll be able to do a little bit more tomorrow. So, yeah, we'll go from there. The combine behaved itself reasonably well. I do know that, like I've said previously, that this combine, it takes a lot more setting up than the others for some reason. It just does. Yeah, there's a lot more. It's got a lot more about it than, you know, the potential. It's got a lot more potential to cut a lot more than the others. It really does. But it's a lot more temperamental as well. You've got an extra third of a machine with an engine that's, you know, a little bit bigger, not much. So you're having to cover quite a lot of ground with an engine that's not much bigger. See, this engine, this 305, was put in the later Model A's, and it's the same engine powering such a much bigger combine. Yeah, we'll be alright, we'll get there. We've just got to see. We're going to try again tomorrow to see if it dries out a bit. See the tree you got smashed heads from the drum, just a tiny bit of smashed heads. You can see it now, look, see that little bit there, that white bit, and that white bit. That's smashed heads from the drum. Yeah, if you look in the swath, there's grain in this. There's unthreshed heads in the swath. So on one hand you've got smashed heads, and then on the other hand you've got unthreshed heads. So yeah, it's just too wet. Simple as that. You know, we're just playing about really. Shouldn't have bothered really, but you know, I don't think we've done too much damage. I think next time, leave it in the settings it's on, because I know the settings it's on. The combine is coping with it, so we'll cut it again on the settings it's on just for a little bit. See how it copes with it. See what difference it makes. Then crank down on the concave a little bit to get it to thresh a little bit harder, probably, because obviously I want to see first of all I want to see what the difference is. Then obviously knowing full well that it's still gonna leave a little bit, I'll crank a little bit down on it and see if it still cracks there, still cracks a couple of grains. Then we'll go from there. Got to just cut a little bit lower. I'm cautious because I don't want stones going through them, you know. But I know that trouble is some of the heads are hanging right down so low that when you're cutting, it's just chopping them off and they're falling on the floor. And there's quite a lot of them, you know. We're getting most of it in the tank, but you're talking 2% lying on the floor. Yeah, so it's not everybody's cup of tea. I mean, I know they say 1% loss is acceptable, but you tend to find with a combine like this, there ain't nothing on the floor. It's stuff that's been chopped off by the header, mainly, and there's a little bit that's come out of the back, but there ain't nothing that's come out of the sieves. There's nothing that's come out of the sieves. It's all either come over there's, I would say, 1% of what's lost I say no. I say 10% of everything that's lost has come over the walkers. 90% of what's lost has come out of the before it's gotten the header. It's fallen off. It's been chopped off and it's fallen on the floor. And you're talking, I don't know, realistically, you're talking about a 5% loss overall. So, I mean, everything that's been cut, you're losing 5%, and sort of a tiny amount of that is going through over the walkers. And the biggest, by far, the biggest amount of that is being chopped off and falling on the floor before it gets in the header. And yeah, and once it's chopped off, and that's it, unless you've got a big hoover, you forget it. But there you go, I'll bore you to death. I don't want to do that, so I'll see you later. I'll catch up with you tomorrow, hopefully in a little bit better news. So yeah, at least the combine's running smoothly though. So you know, we've done well in that respect. Right, see you later. Time to go home now. So I've been quite busy. Just it's mad the amount of work that needs doing to these machines, you know. But it's just something that just needs doing. So these two obviously did a bit of work the other day. So I topped up the engine, topped up the oil breathers, topped up the gearboxes, because both have got a little leak on the gearbox. It's a nightmare really, because it's a pig to fix. But it is literally just a case of having to, because I only use them. You know, only used in the summertime. You know, if it was used all year round, you'd have to sort it. But just topping them up, start greasing them. So basically, all that's left is a couple of the walkers to grease on that one, down the right hand side of that one, and grease all around. It's only the twice daily greases, which is the knife drive, drum, shaker shoe, walkers, and the steering. So and the speed variators and the gearbox and that they need doing as well. So that's basically all the twice daily ones. So this one needs doing. So then it's a case of checking the belt tensions, the chain tensions, oiling the chains, and checking the tyre pressures and cleaning out the radiator and the air filter, the like sort of sack filters that go over the top of the air breathers, the air intakes. So quite a lot of work. It's not a small amount. If you've just got one combine, it's not as much. But when you've got 3 combines running, and we'll have 4 hopefully at the weekend. You know, it's a lot of work. It really is. Especially when they're old like this and they've got a little bit of a leak here and there, and you know, it's a hell of a lot of work. But there you go. That's what I'm doing. So just got to get on with it. So I've got gear oil all in my hair because I was laying down underneath them and it was leaking out of the pipe. But there you go. Right. This is the hobby that I chose. So got to just live with it. I'll be back tomorrow to do a little bit more. So I'll see you then. Bye.